This is the Axleback Muffler Delete from Extreme Online Store. The welds are okay for 200 bucks. It's not the prettiest thing ever, but it'll get the job done. It's a fixed tip. It's welded on, so you can't swap them out. But it's basically these two pieces. You get a gasket, and you get your bolts and washers. And that's it. All right, let's throw it on.
Okay, it's been 2 days since I installed the Extreme Online Store Axleback Muffler Delete, and I have since taken it off. I've gone back to the stock muffler. I'm not going to bury the lead here. I don't think that a muffler delete is the correct choice for this car, the GR86 and the BRZ. I will explain exactly why, but before we do that, let's talk about the good and the bad of this exhaust. As far as the good, number one is price. Extreme Online Store sells the exhaust for $250, which I think is competitively priced when you factor in Remark and MBRP selling similar systems at around $400 to $500. You know, you're getting pipes and no muffler. I think $250 is a fair price, and that $500 is probably on the expensive side. Number two is install. The install was straightforward, as you would expect from an Axleback. You get two pieces. You get a left pipe, you get a right pipe, you join those, and then you secure the Axleback onto the mid pipe. You want to keep your bolts relatively loose at first so you can dial in fit within the rear diffuser. Number three is the exhaust note from outside the car. The exhaust note from outside the car sounds great. It keeps the Subaru rumble, and you get nice pops and bangs when you downshift. I think it sounds better than a lot of other catbacks and Axlebacks on the market. But the list of good things ends there. So let's talk about the bad. Drone. There is drone virtually everywhere within the rev range as far as it concerns the daily driving band. So drone will build all the way to 3,000 RPM, with it being particularly bad between 2,200 and 2,700. And at first you would think, okay, well, you know, I'll just drive around it, right? No big deal. Especially if I have a manual, I can just keep my revs higher than 3,000 RPM. But it rears its ugly head again at 4,000 RPM, and you're really only safe past 5,000, where the exhaust note gets very crisp and beautiful inside the cabin. That's not practical for daily driving. And for those of you who have never experienced drone before, I think the best way to describe it is the pressure and congestion you feel from a head cold, combined with sort of like a low frequency vibration that pervades the entire cabin. It really feels like your skull is being rung like a bell. And every time I drove the car in those 2 days, it gave me a headache and it gave my passengers a headache as well. It simply was not pleasant, and it was making me not want to drive the car. And because of this drone, I think that an Axleback muffler delete is simply way too compromised, despite the benefits that you get, such as the low price and the beautiful exhaust note from outside the car. It was essentially the anti-exhaust, because let's face it, Axlebacks are not for performance gain, they're purely for vibes. And this was ruining the vibes of the car and making me not want to drive it. I should say that this is not unique to Extreme Online Store. I found the product to be very good for $250. I found their service to be good as well, and the product shipped in a nice, secure package. It arrived in 4 days. I think they're based in Northern California, and it got to SoCal within the week. I really think the issue is with muffler deletes on this model. It's not a good option. I personally will be shopping for a resonated and muffled option going forward, and that would be my recommendation for anyone else that's shopping for an exhaust. Unfortunately, this is a situation where you simply get what you pay for. Thank you for watching.